what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent and Merciful. So, Master, this day of judgment in which we now live, the alone that we serve and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is heard to be served worth to praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. We have Brother Mustafa and Sister Sharice Ali from Ohio. We have Minister Daniel Shabazz from San Antonio. We have Brother Mikhail Shabazz from Arizona. We have Brother Samori Samad from New York. We have Brother Minister Isaac Muhammad from New York. We have Brother Minister Mutaqwan Ali from Philly. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we'd like to talk about recognition for the black woman. This right here is a picture of this brother named Kevin Samuels. And this brother got a video that says, what is a high value man and high value men define? Because it seems like in this new generation that everybody turns the focus on the black woman. She's the problem. If she would only shut her mouth, if she would only submit to the black man, then the problems would be solved. So we want to look at it from the perspective of the messenger. How did he come at the brothers? Because when you look at the teachings of the messenger, he was far more hard on brothers than he was on sisters. If you really look at all the Muhammad Speaks newspapers, all the books the messenger had, his radio broadcast, it was always the black man. The black man, the black man, the black man. So let's go to June 19, 1970, Muhammad Speaks. And this is called Robbed of Self. The messenger says, I sit and look day after day at how the white man uses tricks to destroy you. One of his tricks is that he puts your black women to work to show the black woman that he is in favor of her having something, whether her husband gets anything or not. He says the white man destroys the women of any nation. And when the woman is destroyed, the whole nation is destroyed. Then he says, but you, black man, being robbed of this intelligent knowledge and care for your own black woman, she is taken away from you by the enemy. That's number one. The black man the cowardly black man. Your woman is taken away from you. So then we got the cowardly brothers like Kevin Samuels who make definitions for themselves. Say, I'm a high value man. Because the only way that the black man can be a high value man is he got to make a definition for himself that has nothing to do with any other man. If he call himself an alpha male, he making a definition for himself that does not apply to no other man. Let's look at the facts. This right here is the Chinese man. The Chinese man, this video is called China's Role in African Development. This the Chinese man. The Chinese man provides for his women and children, then he goes to Africa and provides for the African black man and black woman. So if you take the Chinese man and you take Kevin Samuels and all these high value men, you take all the black alpha males and you sit them in a room with the Chinese man, and he'll look at them and say, what makes you different, the high value nigga, than the other nigga? What makes the alpha male nigga different from the simp nigga? All I see is two weak, cowardly niggas who get all of their substance from us. Everything that they need to live, they get it from us. So all I see is two niggas. What makes these two niggas any different? They the same. So when you have these high value men, they only a high value man based on their own standards. And these standards are made by womanizing. Womanizing on the black woman. I got a good job. I make some money. So now I can womanize. I'm a high value man. I'm God's gift to every black woman. I got a good job. I'm an alpha male. I'm a womanizer. That's the only way that the black man can be an alpha male or a high value man. Because the messenger makes it plain. He said the white man that took your woman from you. Keeping it on the man. He took your woman from you. Then he goes on to say, he says she is taken away from you by the enemy, and she is trampled in the mud and filth of their race, and then the white man looks at you and laughs. The black man. The black man is God. We like that. We like the sound of that. But what happens to the work and the reality of that? Yeah. Because the messenger taught us. He said in the book of Isaiah, it says that he had a government upon his shoulders. That's what the messenger taught us. He said he had a whole nation on his shoulders. So when he designed our FOI uniform, he put the flag on our shoulders. Because the whole nation rests on a black man's shoulders. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. The messenger told us to shoulder your responsibility to your women, your children, and your nation. We ain't just a high value man because I got a good job, because I can womanize. I got a few sisters that I feel like you lucky to have me. I'm a high value man. The messenger told us what a man is. Yes. He said that the black man should provide for his men, his women and children what the white man provides for his women and children. Pray due to Allah. That's what the messenger taught us a provider was. Providing for your women and children the same thing that other men provide for their women and children. That's why the messenger kept brothers working. You never saw no FOI sitting around talking about I'm an alpha male. Because the messenger told us how far behind we are. unifying other nations. Yes. We don't have time to be separating ourselves from other brothers. We all in the same boat. The messenger said, call each other brother. Yes. He said, we all are the same. So the article goes on. He says, actually, some of our black men need to suffer for allowing their black women to practice the filth and evil of the white people right in his face. So the messenger stayed on the brother. It's because of you. You should suffer for allowing this white man to take your woman into the filth of this world in your face. That's the message. They do to Allah. So for the cowardly black man, we have what is called the black man's guide to understanding the black woman. Now let's talk about this for a minute. Because this book shows how weak the black man has become. Yeah. The black man needs a guide to understanding his woman. Because the messenger said the white man took your woman from you. That's the problem. But the black man is a coward. The black man gonna fake like, what's wrong with the black woman? I wonder what's wrong with her. You see your child outside playing. You see a snake bite your child, but you don't have medical insurance. So he come in crying like, I've been bit by a snake. Say, boy, go sit down somewhere. Ain't nothing wrong with you. And you just saw that he been bit by a snake. You see him suffering from the venom of the snake, but you say, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. The black man has become a coward. He ain't gonna check the white man. He needs something to make him understand his own woman. He is a coward. He has been made into a coward. So the sister, she says the black man's guide to understanding the black woman. Then on the back, it says why to give the black woman one last chance before dating a white woman. So the sister already know he don't need a guide for the white woman, but he need a guide to understanding his own woman. You had during the time, the 400 years we've been here, it has been whole cities of black people that's been destroyed because of one white woman. Because one white woman lied. All of Tulsa, Oklahoma was destroyed. But the black man, he don't need a guide to understand the white woman. He need a guide to understand the black woman. So now he got the guide. Instead of him using the information to understand the black woman, he take the information and use it against the black woman. Now I know all the faults of the black woman. Now I know all the things she do wrong. So now I'm a high value man. I don't date women that got children. I don't date black women who got a mouth. I don't date them overweight because I'm a high valued black man. The messenger always kept it in the black man's face. This devil done took your woman from you, and you should suffer for allowing him to take your woman and drag her through the mud. The black man should suffer. That's the message. So then he goes on. He says, this is a crazy man. One who will let another man, a stranger, strip his black woman and make her walk out up and down the street with her dress cut halfway up her thigh. This is a crazy man. It's a crazy man to allow a stranger, another man, to take your woman, drag her through the mud, and now she wearing clothes halfway up her thigh in your face. So the messenger goes on. He has a cartoon. This is the October 27th, 1972 Muhammad speaks. And you see two sisters in karate gear. It says John's Karate Academy. The sister said, I had to learn to protect myself from the enemy until our black men realize it's their duty. They do to a lot. That was the black man's guide to understanding the black woman. It's your duty. You should suffer. Not she, you should suffer for allowing the white man to drag your woman through the mud. Then to throw a shot at all the cowardly black men. Showing two sisters that say, I got to defend myself. Till the black man decides or figures out that that's his duty. Yes, sir. That's his duty to defend me. It's his duty to protect me. That was the message. He stayed on the brothers. He stayed on them. Yes, so then we have, this is the April 25th, 1959 Pittsburgh Carrier. And this was a letter to the editor. It says, Muhammad, savior of Negro women. The sister said, I thank Almighty God Allah for Miss J.J. Fisher and all the other so-called Negro women in the Christian world who are able to see our leader and teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and his principles and lifesaver for all Negro women. The so-called Negro women are the mothers of civilization. We bear all of the original Negro children in the world. Mr. Muhammad is fighting for us. We are his people. The so-called Negro men will join in the fight for us later, after they grow up and turn to Mr. Muhammad and learn how to fight. Yes, sir. That was back in the day, because in the 50s, during the civil rights movement, nobody was speaking up for the black woman. Because the thing about the cowardly black man, he always acted like he didn't understand the black woman. Why she act the way she act? If the white man raped the black woman, she shouldn't have been wearing what she wear. She shouldn't have been out at this time. It's always an excuse. But the messenger said you should suffer because the white man took your woman from you. So you the one who should suffer for allowing this stranger to take your woman and drag her through the mud. So when the sister saw the messenger, see how the messenger turn it around and get back at the brother. Tell the brother to protect and respect your woman. Yeah. They say Muhammad is a savior for the Negro woman. Praise due to Allah. Then you got another one. I forgot to write the date on this. But this from the Muhammad Speaks. This says, search for satisfaction invariably leads to Islam. The sister says, being a Muslim and a follower of the messenger of Allah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I have received the greatest salvation that life could ever bring me, Islam. I have truly found that for which I have searched all my life. She says any black woman can be beautiful without the needless trappings of black power organizations, beauty schools, natural hairstyles, and the like. This beauty comes only through being a Muslim and learning the truth. This is why I like the old school stuff. They was constantly talking about somebody. All the fakes. In the 1950s, where was the Black Panther organizations? Where was the Black Power? Where was the Naturals? Where was the Afros in the 50s? There was none. It was MGT who had black beauty pageants, talking about the beauty of being black, talking about why no makeup, telling the black woman to eat the proper foods. It was MGT. So all praise is due to Allah. We don't talk about that because the messenger was a savior for the black woman, telling the black woman about natural beauty. It wasn't no such thing as no alpha male. in the 1950s. There were no high value men in the 1950s. Because when the messenger started teaching about the respect for the black woman, they couldn't believe it. Let's just read and talk about and give an example. This comes from the March 9th, 1957 Pittsburgh Carrier. It says, Messenger Muhammad stresses closer protection for so-called Negro women. Now, when you read this article, this is what the Pittsburgh Carrier wrote about the messenger. This wasn't the messenger and the Muslims writing about the messenger, but there was the so-called American Negro writing about the messenger having a Savior's Day theme, saying stress for closer protection for so-called Negro women. It says a crowd of 3,000 Muslim believers, visitors, and friends who assembled at Tabernacle Baptist Church recently at the annual convention of Muhammad's Temples of Islam showed apparent amazement at the depth of the initial address made by Messenger Elijah Muhammad, founder of the organization, when he stressed closer protection for the so-called Negro women in North America. They said in amazement at the depth of what he was talking about, because they never heard that before. Never heard a black man say the protection of our women, the importance of the protection of the black woman. And he turned it around on the brothers. It says in an approximate 3-hour address, the Muslim messenger amplified his declaration that the so-called American Negro man must expend and decide a decided effort to recapture the respect of our women. He lashed the practice of the Negro women, whose gullibility to the wills and woes of teeming metropolitan areas and smaller urban areas had become appalling. And the reason for this be brought out was due to the absence of necessary protection by our male gender. This the message in the 50s. Say the black woman being out in these metropolitan areas is appalling, but it's due to the lack of protection by our Negro or by our male gender. The messenger kept it on the brothers, and they were surprised and amazed at the depth of what he was talking about, because the black man has been robbed of a knowledge of self. He don't know himself. He don't recognize that right before his eyes, the white man stole your woman from you. And the reason why she acts the way she acts is because she been drugged through the mud. And you fail to protect and provide for your women, your children, and your nation. Praise be to Allah. So the messenger goes on. This is a Muhammad Speaks newspaper. This is the February 16th, 1968, Muhammad Speaks. And it says, to my beloved people, warning. So in this, on the front page of this newspaper, the messenger got the black man. The silly, cowardly black man. Then he got his wife and his daughter. Then behind the brother is 2 brothers staring at the movements of his wife's body. So the messenger say the husband displays the shame of his family. The husband displays the shame, always putting it back on the brother. Yes, sir. He always put it on the brother. But we want to put it on the sister. If the sister would just shut her mouth, if the sister would just submit to the black man, the messenger say it's your fault because the white man took your woman from you. That's the problem. Because don't no other man need no manual to understand his woman. No other man have podcasts and YouTube videos airing the dirty laundry of his woman. The black man is so deaf, dumb, and blind. We don't even realize how weak that make us look. That's how deaf for Kevin Samuels to say that he's a high value man. When your woman is the most disrespected woman on earth, not in the country, not in the city, not on the continent, but on the earth, the black woman. But the black man is so chicken-hearted, so cowardly. He's a high-value man. When your woman is disrespected everywhere on the earth. But the messenger taught us about being a man. He said, shoulder your responsibilities. He put the flag on our uniform to constantly remind us this whole nation is your responsibility. Praise due to Allah. Because when you look at these new school brothers today, these alpha males, I look on the internet and a lot of that MGT stuff. A lot of the alpha males try to take that and use that against the sisters, telling the sisters what she need to be doing for a man. But it's a lecture by John Shabazz. It was called Marriage Muslim Style. All these alpha male chicken-hearted niggas need to go listen to that. And I say niggas because the white man made us into some niggas. All the niggas need to go listen to Marriage Muslim Style. When you had a brother during the time of the messenger who wanted to get married, he couldn't even go tell the sister he liked that he wanted to get her number. He had to go through an official. The official go to the sister, captain or lieutenant, tell her to tell the sister that the brother liked her. Then after that, they looking at this brother's, his work, his duty to his nation. That's the first thing. How many papers this brother sell? What's his attendance? What's his charity? How many lost files he bring? Because I heard a story about a captain. It was a brother who wanted to marry a sister. And I love these stories. It shows how much of a man the messenger made these brothers. This brother told the brothers, he said, don't you think you coming in here and pulling one of these sisters out of here? That's how they used to talk to the brothers. Don't you think, because we watching you. The messenger had protection for the brother and the sister. He said a brother should never be in a room alone with a sister. Always should be somebody else. If the brother liked the sister, the brother got to tell an official. The sister official tell that sister and they decide, is this brother worthy? Is he qualified? Because they are straight up like, no, this brother, he ain't doing such as, no, he ain't, you don't need to marry this brother. He ain't doing nothing. This brother been in the temple 2 years, ain't brought no loss. He ain't ready to get married. That's how them brothers, it wasn't like this is what a sister should, no, you had to be qualified. Get MGT. The messenger wasn't teaching them sisters all that for them to get no lazy brother. Right. The messenger said lazy Lazarus. You had to do some work to get an MGT. That stuff wasn't just, this is what a sister, no. You had to be a working brother to get an MGT. So after they decide and say, okay, I like the brother, brother liked the sister, the messenger still had a chaperone. Still got a chaperone. Go with these two. And it was a married Muslim couple. Had to go on a chaperone date with this brother and the sister. And the one thing that I like about that lecture called Marriage Muslim Style, the minister was having all the brothers stand up and tell everybody what they was doing before they became a Muslim. So they would have some brothers who smoked a lot of weed. I remember when brother such and such came, he used to smell like weed. He used to get high all the time. Look at the brother now. See, another brother was a pimp. This brother used to be a pimp. Look at him. I'm talking about them brothers used to do all kinds of stuff. But when it got to the sisters, he said, we don't have sisters stand up and tell us what they did in the past. He said it's hard for them to live it down. So we don't expel and tell everybody what they used to do. That was real to me. You don't put no sister and tell everybody that's what this sister doing. This sister got this many kids. She doing this. The sisters need to do that with other sisters. The sisters need to teach the sisters. The messenger said, men sharpen men like steel sharpens steel. It's the same with the sisters. Sisters need to air their dirty laundry with each other. Brothers don't need to be nowhere around. Right. But the brothers take the information. I see exactly why the messenger made it like that. He didn't let brothers in the MGT class. For what? You need to, the messenger used to say, ask questions and learn all about yourself. Yes, sir. That's what the black man, the niggas. Oh, because I see online, a lot of these brothers, they love this. They love to know all the faults and the flaws of the sisters. They love to go on there, get all the MGT stuff and tell the sister what they supposed to do. Some of these brothers I see got beards. Some of these brothers got dreadlocks. The messenger said that's uncivilized. But the same savage that would have been a savage in the Nation of Islam back in the day and wouldn't have got no MGT. Tell a sister what she's supposed to do for the black man. This is what the messenger said the sister's supposed to do for the black man, because the black man, no. Brothers got a totally misunderstanding. Because the messenger told all brothers, you should at least spend 2 hours a day getting the dead. Because if you a high value man, the blood of the brothers who are not high value is on your hands. If you are alpha male, then all of the simps' blood is on your hands. So you need to be spending 2 hours a day to go out there and help the simp if you are alpha male. If you are a high value man, you need to be spending 2 hours a day to help the low value man. That was the message. You ain't no better than nobody else. Your work determined what you was in the Nation of Islam. And the messenger put them to work. So let's look what the messenger said in this article. The messenger said, he says the idea of a man leading his wife and his daughter in the public today, his wife with a dress on halfway up her thighs, and his daughter's dress the same. It's just like a pimp parading prostitutes before men for a few nickels and dimes. He says, I say to you, who allow your wives to walk up and down the streets with a dress or a skirt halfway up their thighs, that you are responsible for the insults which are made by any man of the public to her. You are responsible. Yes, sir. The messenger always put it on the brother. You responsible. Praise due to Allah. That's why you didn't see these chicken-hearted brothers during the time of the message. I read articles about FOI. If I didn't read it in the Muhammad Speaks, I wouldn't believe it was true. One of my favorites was in Atlanta, Georgia in 1974. These brothers got into a fight with armed devils. Now I'm reading this article because before I started reading about FOI, I thought the Panthers with them shotguns and stuff, I thought that was manly. Like these brothers fighting police with shotguns, that's pretty brave. But when you read an article that an unarmed man causes an armed man to run and call for help, I was glued to the pages. Yes, Then they say brothers called the temple for some more brothers to come help. Word is bond to Allah. 1974 in Atlanta, Georgia. They got, because what I used to do, because when I first read these articles, I used to be like, wait a minute. Maybe the Muslims might be kind of juicing it up a little bit. Let me do some research to see what everybody else saw. They would have witnesses to say when them Muslims start karate chopping them devils, they start running. I'm like, wow. Every article that's written in the Muhammad Speaks is the same as what you see with the civilians who's eyewitnesses. Seeing devils run because these brothers chasing them with guns. Unarmed brothers. So that's the kind of man, the kind of fighter that the messenger made. He said, die for your nation. Fight for your nation. He said, your name will live on. He said, don't die a coward. He said, die fighting, because at least your name will live on. That's how the messenger would talk to them brothers. So you didn't see no cowardly FOI, because the messenger constantly reminds us it's because of you. Look at these other nations of men. Who they blame? They don't blame they women. He said men make things happen. That's what Chinese men do. That's what these, we talk about these people in Ukraine. You look at Russia. Russia got all these big bombs. But those men in Ukraine take Molotov cocktails and throw them at the devil. That's a man. Say, my name, I ain't going nowhere. I'm fighting for my country. Praise due to Allah. Russia, one of the most powerful countries in the world. Them devils say, teach me how to light this Molotov cocktail to throw at this devil. That's a man fighting for his nation. Yes, that's what the messenger taught him. Fight for your nation. Yes, sir. So the messenger goes on. He says the husband or father who allows his daughter to go out of his house with dresses like those described is sending a daughter out to serve the world as a prostitute. He says, who has respect for a woman that displays her body to the public half nude, or for the father of that daughter, or the husband of that wife? Always turning it around, putting it right back on the brother. Brother couldn't escape with the message. You couldn't come around him, oh no, it's because of you. What people respects the woman, but who respect her father? Who respect her husband because they supposed to protect her. They supposed to be making it safe for her. Because how the messenger taught us, sisters ain't supposed to be shopping at Kroger's. They ain't supposed to be going to Mike. We supposed to provide for them everything that every other man provide for his woman. She ain't supposed to be going to Ford. But at Beaumont, we supposed to have our own hospital. That was the message. So let's go on even further. The messenger got one more article because there's so many examples that we can use. This one is called Black Universal Rise, and it's June 27th, 1969. This is something that all the alpha males and all of these men who think they high value and better than the sister should go and read. The messenger says, when the black man learns that the white man does not want anything like exalting and respecting the black woman, then if he still loves his black woman, he will take steps and try and protect his black woman. He said, we must always remember that we are no higher in the eyes of God and the nations than our black woman. We must always remember we are no higher than our black woman in the eyes of God and the nations. So when you got Kevin Samuels talking about here how in who eyes? In who eyes the black man is a high value. In who eyes the black man is an alpha male. To you. But not in the eyes of God and the nations. Yes, because you only can make up rules for yourself. Don't no other man respect your rules. But all other men in the nations have rules for a man. Providing and protecting. Yes, sir. That's the two main rules for every man in every nation. That's why the messengers say we want equal membership in civilized society. Yes, he didn't teach us nothing about being equal to the devil. He said in civilized society. Yes, independent men. So the messenger. Talk about the messenger being independent. This comes from the 1972 Muhammad Speaks. And this shows the difference between the messenger and all the rest of these people. This is the messenger in the October 27, 1972 Muhammad Speaks. This says Qatar's rulership shows great interest in progress of Muslims in America. Because the messenger taught us as men. He said we supposed to provide for our women and children what all other men provide for theirs. So in this newspaper, which I was really impressed, this country, Qatar, got their independence in 1971. This was a country that was fighting the white man to be independent. By 1972, the messenger had already hooked up with them and they gave him $100,000. So this is a picture of the messenger. This says, in the home of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is Prince Abdullah Aziz Khalifa Al Thani, Minister of Finance and Petroleum of Qatar, and his aide, Mr. Hassan Muhammad Ali. They showed great satisfaction at the wise use of the $100,000 in aid that Qatar gave to the Nation of Islam. Qatar was one of the first Muslim nations of the East to unite with their Muslim brothers in North America. Widespread financial support of the Lost Foundation of Islam is now a reality through the Islamic world. This the messenger. This was the man over the finance of their country at the messenger's house. Impressed with how he used the $100,000. This the message. This what he told us about being a man. He didn't never say I'm a high value man. He never say I'm an alpha man. He taught us what being a man was through his actions. That's right. He taught us that the black man should provide for his women and children the same thing that every other man provides for his. So what an alpha male gonna tell the messenger? He ain't gonna tell him nothing. The messenger taught us how to build our nation. He said, take this paper out. He said, and you will fill your temple up. That's right. That was what the Nation of Islam was built on. All praise is due to Allah. The Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Going out to get the dead. That's what the messenger taught us. That's how we build our nation. Because the nation is on our shoulders. All our black brothers and sisters is dead to the knowledge of self. And the way we become big is by getting our dead brother. Not womanized. Not playing on sisters. Not blaming sisters. But protecting sisters. Providing for sisters. Creating the atmosphere. Because when the messenger said, that's another thing brothers like to talk about, the control. But the messenger also said that we supposed to provide jobs for them. We supposed to provide a job for her. Yes. We supposed to have directors of the University of Islam, sisters working at the York supermarket. It's all kind of jobs that we can provide for our women and children. The messenger said we supposed to control the environment that the black woman in. That's what control means. Right. When the messenger had the York supermarket, he had certain times where they would go pick up elderly senior citizens. Not only would they pick them up, the FOI would walk them to their door. That's control. That's right. The messenger control, he said, okay, all seniors at this time, we come pick you up, bring you to the store. We have a FOI come get you. They gonna listen to that. Because this was a sister in Chicago. She lived in the projects. She said she heard a knock on the door. And this shows you how the messenger made men. She said she looked through the peephole and she saw it was a Muslim. She said if it wasn't a Muslim, she wouldn't open the door. She said she don't never open her door for nobody. But she said when she saw that Muslim, she knew it was okay. That's the messenger. Yes. Made a man just for following the message. Just for this sister seeing a Muslim, she felt safe. Told her that's a man. Yes. That's what the messenger taught us. Go out there and get your dead black brother. That's what makes a man a man. Yes. That's when your nation see that you care. When they see you standing out there, even if they don't buy a paper, just to see our presence. And I experienced that in my own real life. Just to see how they see you. You could see a brother or a sister weeks and months and years at a time, and they never buy a paper, but you still establishing a relationship. I seen this brother. This was like, wow. I used to see him before the coronavirus thing. Coronavirus happened, I hadn't seen this brother in like a year. So the brother saw me and he came and walked up to me and gave me a hug. Like, I ain't seen you in a long time. Because when I used to see him, he used to be drunk all the time. So I talked to him a little bit. So then after the corona, the brother got, I guess he stopped drinking alcohol. And he wasn't drunk. And I'm like, the brother, he was just so happy to see me. And all I would do was say, hey, brother, how you doing? Talk to him for a while. But just for him seeing me and just talking to the brother, he was so happy to see me. That's the message. Praise be to Allah. A lot of this stuff, we would know nothing about the good heart of our people if it wasn't for the message. Yeah. Just seeing the reaction of people to Muslims, it makes you feel like, I got to get out. Because I say one thing about selling papers. It's hard to do. I ain't gonna front. It's hard to get out there week after week selling papers. But when you do it, it's rewarding. Yeah. Nothing else in life gives you the reward than to help your people. No, I remember one time we was going door to door. We had put papers on these people's doors a week before because we would start here this week, then next week we'll go to the next block. So it was these sisters that had read something about how to eat to live. They had never read about the hog before, and they saw us and started running down the street like, I read that stuff about how to eat to live in the pork. Just so happy to know about the hog. That's what our people want, the truth. Our people want the truth. And that's how the messengers say we become men. By providing for our nation. Whether it's financially, whether it's giving them the truth. The messenger said that the black man should provide for his women and children what other men provide for their women and children. So the messenger in this article goes on. He says, we must always remember that we are no higher in the eyes of God and the nations than our black woman. He says it is the black woman that brings you into the world and nurses you until you are able to go about on your own feet in the world to obtain the essentials of life. He says the black woman deserves more protection than pearls, gold, and diamonds. The protection of our property even is secondary to the protection of our women. He says, respect her, since we have not respected her in the past. Let us get busy and respect our black woman. That's the message. He always turned it back around to the brother. These sisters is the ones that bring you into life and nurse you until you can get on your feet. They deserve respect. The messenger never taught us to play on women. He said they deserve respect. I don't care if she a prostitute. She's still the queen mother of civilization. Because the black man, once again, they like that when the messenger said, every time you look in the face of a black man, you see God. We love that. Even if you see the sister with 4 and 5 kids, every time you look, she's the queen mother of civilization. They do to a lot. It goes both ways. Yes. We are seen no higher than the black woman in the eyesight of God and the nations. That's the teachings of the message. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, sole master's day of judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.